Well, hey. Welcome to another Water Fed Wednesday. I'm your host, Alex Brunner. And if it's been a while, we definitely have episodes for you to catch up on. I believe Cole, as many of you know, Cole Blakey, he's our guest today. Cole, we have, I think, 42 other episodes that everyone could catch up on. So the best place to catch up on Waterfed Wednesday is to head over to our YouTube channel, Tucker_USA, and catch up on all the previous episodes, like episode number 25, Cole. I think that's the one you're on. So definitely check that one out. And if you're watching this after the fact, you can watch that one first, get a little caught up on Cole, and then we'll go into this one. But before we get started, Cole, got some breaking news.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
Breaking news. All right. So many of you know we've had this for a number of years. It's our mini walnut scrubber that would attach to the attachment here on your brush, your gooseneck, and this comes with all this gooseneck along with the brush with your pole. So you would just simply screw this on and you're able to scrub on that baked on debris. And one of the most popular requests has been, do you have one bigger? Well, once again, Tucker answers and delivers. So we have the Tucker XL walnut scrub pad holder. So same thing, just add it on. Screw it on there. That way, if you have some debris that your brush isn't quite getting to, you can wet the debris, agitate it, and then flip it around, scrub on that, and there you go. That debris will come off. So what you get obviously the this is Acme threaded pad holder, walnut pad already installed, and you'll get an extra one as well. All right, that's it for the breaking news, Cole. Let's get back
Hey,
into the
good
book.
news right there.
That's
Good news. Bigger is
great
better,
news.
especially with all these big sheets of glass we're having to go through. I know I've actually been able to test it out, and I've used it, and I can personally say from my experiences, it does increase the efficiency from the job. And as you guys know, I do have my own business, Wild Pressure Washing Services. So I'm dealing with a lot of, houses that have a lot of caked on filth and grime. So I have to soft wash it, and I follow up and remove that debris from the windows using Tucker systems. And I've been able to use that walnut pad, and I do have videos and pictures coming soon to help show it in action. And it really does increase the efficiency going from this to that.
Awesome. Well, it's good to hear. Can't wait to see those videos, and we'll add it to the website. So if you want to get the, whoops, I already put it away. The XL scrubber, you can head on over to our website, tuckerusa.com. All right, well, let's get into it, Cole. And if this is the first time joining us on Waterfed Wednesday, just tell you what's it all about. So, Waterfed Wednesday, this is where we go beyond the bucket and dive into the world of waterfed cleaning, answer questions about our equipment, our businesses, and our goal of helping cleaners worldwide to get the job done faster, safer, and better. So, episode 43. We're calling this the Field Report with Cole Blakey. So, as many of you know, as I mentioned before, Cole was with us on episode 25, and you're really like our super user, you're a brand ambassador, content creator. But officially, a couple months ago, you transitioned to the sales team. So, how has that sales rep been treating you?
It's been treating me great. I appreciate you asking. It's a whole new world being able to see everything and deal with so many people up front, talk about every single system you guys offer, from the different brushes, the different options, and you have the standard size, you have the XL size. I can talk to people about solar panel cleaning, window cleaning. I can talk to people in my own industry about pressure washing, soft washing, upsells. And it's something I'm really passionate about, and I get to do it even more. So I really do appreciate the opportunity, and I would say it's treating myself pretty well. So again, we really do appreciate the opportunity, Alex.
Well, we're definitely glad to have you on the team. Absolutely. So most people, including myself, feel that our plate is full. And here, just with our main business, but so let's break this down. You're running WOW, right? Pressure washing.
Yes, sir.
Uh, you're also manufacturing hunting stands for your other business, LCR Hunting Equipment, and now you're doing sales for us. So, in your own words, how would you describe the day to day right now?
I would describe it as nonstop. If I had to give it one word, the one word would be nonstop. I'm nonstop doing something. Whether I am, hey, what's up? I see Jamie just commented. How you doing, Jamie? Glad that you're here. Um, and yeah, so basically, with it being nonstop, I'm either out selling stuff for my business while pressure washing, or I'm responding to comments and making videos for one of the two businesses I have, LCR Hunting Equipment as well as Wild Pressure Washing Services. I could be out cleaning windows, soft washing buildings, pressure washing concrete, or again, I could be answering questions, taking calls, sending emails, and talking to the great customers that Tucker deals with on a day-to-day basis, 7 days a week. And then if I'm not doing that, I'm at my shop. We have an industrially zoned shop for our business, LCR Hunt Equipment. We manufacture and distribute all of our stands. So it's really fun and exciting to see everything from, when I'm dealing with nothing but sales and customer relations to dealing with it all over here while pressure washing, but no distribution or fulfillment kind of deal. It's just you sell the job, you do the job, and then the customer pays. And then going over to this whole other world. And I mean, when you get behind those closed doors and you're seeing what it's like to have to fulfill orders really fast, get them shipped out. And for us, we have really bulky, heavy duty stands that have some real backbone to them. So our customers are safe and comfortable. So for us, we have to ship everything LTL, and the shipping goes up and you're having to deal with a lot of different drivers. So a lot of people are coming and going. It's a revolving door. So it's really cool. I'm meeting so many people across so many different platforms and industries. So it's really exciting, but it's a lot to take in. So it's just a nonstop trinkle of like, I got to keep going forward.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna need whatever you're drinking, like energy drink wise, because it's just from the outside looking in, it seems pretty intense. So again, grateful that you have you on the team and you're representing us well, and the 5-star reviews have already been coming in on your great customer service. So talking about the sales side specifically within obviously the Tucker business. When you're talking with a cleaner who's struggling with a specific job, how much does it help that you probably face that same exact scenario maybe 48 hours earlier on your own job site?
It helps that I go through those struggles so then I can just be completely relatable with the customer and transparent with how I had to approach that job, what could have been better, what could have made it more efficient, and then just tell them about, everything that made the job as good as possible. Therefore, when they get their hands on the right system from us, they already know how to operate it. They know what they need to be doing when they get to the work site. They know what not to do. So I'd rather them learn from my mistakes or learn from things that I could have done better. So just so when they get our equipment, they're learning about our equipment and they're focused on getting the job done adequately. And I always tell people, whenever you buy from me, you can always call me. I'll help you set it up. And then not only that, when you're on a job, if you have any sort of troubleshooting issues, you have any sort of technical questions, or you just need help walking through that job, you can give me a call or a text, and I'm always going to be open ears. You have me at your disposal. So that's the thing, is I'm always going to be there for anybody that, deals with me or deals with Tucker. But it is a good thing to be able to bring up those previous experiences and help other people avoid those experiences, or at least refine them.
Yeah, it definitely it is very helpful. I mean, I know that there's maybe in other industries or similar that they can be product experts, but they haven't really used the equipment, and so it's so helpful when you have somebody that you're talking to that knows the product, but also knows the situation that they're going through. So it just speaks volumes to what a salesperson is saying. So they know they have that sense that you're not just there to collect a commission check, or as I've heard before, commission breath is all over them, right? So that's really awesome to see that the level of service that you've been providing. And I'll test Cole, you have that great character about you, and also um, that's what we try to pride ourselves here in Tucker, is associating ourselves with those types of people. So it also speaks of our other sales reps as well. But you're definitely taking charge in that role. So really appreciate that. One of the things I know when I've talked to people, they have a sense that they might need like the biggest, best possible thing, and if it's the right situation, I'd love to help them out with that. But do you ever find yourself maybe talking some of these customers out of those things?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things where it doesn't happen too often. Most people, they know exactly what they want. But there's some people where, I'll find out what the TDS in their area is, and I can get them in the right direction for what system they need. Because there's a couple of questions I like to ask is, what is the TDS in your area? How many jobs are you doing daily and weekly? How are you going to be storing this equipment? And then how far are you willing to go for your business? Are you looking to get into really big commercial work? Are you looking to stay small? And I mean, just kind of like pick their brain apart and find out what does their business need and where is it going. So then I can guide them in the best in the best way. So they're not having to, throw their whole wallet at us to get a system that maybe isn't necessary right now. So I do end up talking to people, and sometimes they end up getting a smaller system for where they're at now. And they always talk about, they might end up getting something bigger down the line. So it does work being able to learn about these people, learn about their businesses, and give them what's actually the most optimal for them at this time. Nothing overkill, but nothing to where they're not going to get the optimal sleek shine every time. So I like trying to find that middle ground for them every time.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely it helps to understand who we're talking to instead of just like, here's this and this is why you should have it. Because you're right, it'll look pretty, but if they're not going to put it to use, and it's just going to collect dust, and they're going to be very frustrated at the end of the day with us if we like just yep, this is this big old system, and it just isn't right for them. Um, Thinking back to when we had you on earlier, got the backstory, as I encourage everyone to watch episode 25, and you had mentioned that your dad was actually one of your toughest critics, and tying it back to his days as being a BMW master technician. When you recommend a system to a customer, are you still running through that kind of mindset where it's, would my dad let this leave the bay, as it were, to filter just to make sure that the customer is highly satisfied?
Yeah, I mean, with anything and everything that I do in life, I always kind of reflect on how my dad processes it. And he always thinks, my wife and kids are going to get in that car. Is this car, are the tires fully safe and secure? Is the brakes going to work? Is this car fixed? Is it right for the road? Because if I don't feel comfortable for my wife and kids to get in the car, then I'm not going to send it out with some random customer, whether I like them or I don't. So it's just about having integrity in selling something and doing something that's high quality. And the thing is, for me, I don't have to think about it too much with Tucker, if I'm being honest with you, Alex. And the reason is because, again, I've been out to Castle Rock, Colorado, and you guys have a supreme, system going on. You have the best employees. You have an amazing work culture. You guys have like an elite system. From all the systems, from the DI handy pure tank all the way up to a fill and go. Everything is built for quality, not quantity. Everything is built for the user. So you guys always keep the user in mind. So I don't have any stress in terms of, quality coming out that door. Because I even walked around with you, got a little tour, and I was just perplexed by how all the moving parts your business had, but then also seeing the equipment come together and all the quality assurance programs you guys have. So for me, whenever I sell anything, Tucker, it could be a handy pure or a fill and go. It could be a pole or a brush or just some 5/16 hose. It doesn't matter. For me, I feel very comfortable letting it get out the bay and go in the hands of that person. And for me, the biggest thing is like, they're kind of go back a minute, is I like to ask those couple of questions so I can find the right fit for that person's business. But when we find that right fit, they purchase it. I help them set it up over the phone. And then they're using it. I know for certain they're safe. When they go on the road, they're safe. They're good. It's a top-notch system that Tucker sells. everything that you guys do is quality and screams luxury and premium. And that's, again, I try to carry those same characteristics and traits for while pressure washing. When I do, the end result, is it a quality result? Is it something that I'm satisfied with? Is this something that if I paid someone to clean my house like this, is this good enough for me? And then same thing with LCR, with that, I can't make mistakes. I have to have all these quality assurance programs. So I have to go through all these little things before it can leave the bay, like my dad would say, before it goes out and somebody's life's on the line. But Tucker, I'm telling you, it's, as you know, I'm kind of preaching to the choir here. It's quality through and through.
Yeah, that's definitely a great lens to see things through, for sure. Through the eyes of your customer, whether it's the cell size or your pressure washing business, and definitely your tree stand, for sure. And talking about that maker mindset, people might not link the two, the hunting business and the window cleaning, but when you're working with metal, uh, the safety and height in both. What is one manufacturing secret from your tree stand business that makes you appreciate how Tucker systems are built?
It's all about the system. And, there's multiple ways. You can say there's a system like your purification. Your product is a system. My product is a system. But at the end of the day, the system I'm really talking about is the system in which, how does this come together? And for us, again, we have a very extensive quality assurance program. I know you guys do too. You guys have people that are looking over everything, making sure everything is right. Everything is going to be quality before it gets packaged up, put on a pallet, or sent out on a FedEx truck. So you guys are really making sure you're leaving no stones unturned. And we do the same thing. So one thing I can really appreciate is the attention to detail. And I think that's what sets you guys apart from anything else in the market, is you guys really have the attention to detail, just like us with our hunt stands. We have that attention to detail, and we're down to the decimal point. We're trying to be as accurate as possible, and we test every single stand before it goes out. And I know you guys, like I said, I saw it as well. You guys get the brush and you make sure everything is good and firm and working before it goes to the next person. And you guys have that system where it's going from one person to another person, another person. And then another thing, a lot of people, whenever you buy a system, you'll see on some of those male fittings a little tag, and it's been initialed or signed off on. That's, a part of that program. People are looking at these things. So when you do receive your product, it's been tested, it's been looked at by multiple people, and it's quality. So I really like the system that you guys have, and I can really appreciate that.
Cool. Very good. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think people might be surprised. You talk about the brush situation. Other manufacturers might just have that brush and stick it in the box. But going back to this one, this is a boar brush, and other manufacturers, you might open it up and you're just a whole bunch of boar hair bristles inside the box. You've seen it where the guy that's assembling these, he's making sure there's no loose bristles. That way, when you open it out of the box, you're not greeted with a mess, but you're just like, wow, this is awesome. Put it right to use, and you wouldn't even know it. You might just assume that that's how everyone sends their product out. So that's what we're definitely trying to do, is that attention to detail. So as a fabricator, from that perspective, so I know your favorite pole is the High Mod 50, right?
It still is, yeah.
All right. So when you hold that High Mod 50, or maybe it's another system, what specific details are you looking at that the average user might overlook again?
So for me, I'm looking at, all the clamps. I like to see how everything moves. It's not going to, when you're extending it, you're not going to have a lot of friction. I like that you can adjust the clamps so you can have it tighter or looser, depending. And again, I love at the end where when you're pulling it out, there's that little stopper on the Tucker 50 high modulus pole. So you can't just rip it out real fast. And that's huge for me, because again, you're just focused on trying to get that pole up to that window, and you're not trying to bump other windows or do anything else. You're focused on that right there. So when you're doing it, you'll hit that stopper, and you can kind of bring it down 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters, and just lock it. And then next one. So it's the little details again, Alex. And for me, my personal favorite is like that little stopper at the end of each section. And I remember when I first got that pole, I thought it was like the Bravo where you can kind of slide it all the way out. So when I hit that stopper, I was like, oh, this is amazing. So that was like the first thing that really just stuck out to me, and especially on that pole. But yeah, it's the little details. I love that the clamps are adjustable. I like the clamps, I still have mine, my Bravo pole from 2022, and it does phenomenal. The clamps are still standing strong, still doing good. So overall, it's just a good quality product. It feels firm, it's rigid, but yeah, I mean, it's the little details that win me.
Yeah, and some people might not know that, as we talked about the brush detail, there's actually Braxton, who's been assembling poles for the past 3 years. He actually, when he puts the clamps on, he doesn't just put it on and all right, on to the next pole. He actually will stand there, adjust it, tighten the screws just right, so it's not when it arrives to you, it doesn't just freely spin. It's just set right, and so it's just the attention to detail that we really try to focus on. Um, Transitioning now more to want to talk about how you manage it all again. So you're basically, we always talk about wearing the business as a hat. Well, you got three of them. Uh, so managing, sorry, I just had an image. Uh, I had an uncle who had Alzheimer's, and he once wore three hats out at once because he kept on forgetting. So sorry about that. But
That's
anyways,
all good.
well, how do you go between those hats instead of, or maybe it's like him, you're wearing all three at once. So how do you actually structure your week? Do you have like sales days for one of the businesses, cleaning days? How do you pivot?
So basically, how my system works is whenever I'm not cleaning, I'm in the shop welding and fabricating. It could be all night, and then I'm going straight from there to another pressure washing job. It could be if, let's say, we had a washout day, so it's not advised to soft wash in the rain. Chemicals are going to run off really fast. They're going to dilute, so you're going to be wasting chemicals and not getting a adequate service done for your customer. It's a disservice to kind of soft wash in the rain. A lot of people consider. And for me, if I had to reschedule something because a customer, sometimes they just have something pop up and they need to reschedule that day, I don't put anyone there. I go ahead and I just make that welding fabricating day, kind of. And then late at night, if I'm not at the shop, then I like to spend time with my wife and kids. We like to have time, watch movies. My daughter, she's really gotten into Minecraft recently. And I got 3 kids. It's named after LCR is named after them, Lydia, Cole, and Roland. So I love, everything from that business to wild pressure washing. It's all family oriented. Also, I see Squeegee Chick commented, "Hey, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us. I've been watching your content, especially on TikTok. You do really good content, and the music choices are A tier. They're perfect." So,
Yeah, absolutely.
Quick shout out. And then,
Well, we'll do one more. Sorry.
what's up, Joel? How are you doing? Joel makes the best food, by the way. He's local here in Columbus. Small. He has it's called Snacks Chabalita. Makes the best food, family owned and operated as well. And you can go in there. Best customer service. Joel always has a smile on his face. Great dude. Great dude.
Well, you're making me hungry.
Oh yeah.
Well, Squeegee Chick, 3 kids. Hey, guess what? I have 3 kids too.
Look
Woohoo!
at that.
All right. We appreciate you.
Columbus, Georgia.
Yeah.
Close. I'm the second popular Columbus. It's always Columbus, Ohio, number 1, and Georgia, number 2. But I'm trying to work it up. I'm trying to get Columbus to be number 1, but it's taking a while.
All right on. Well,
Thank you, Joel.
thank you all for listening. Sorry to break you up there, Cole. So we'll get you back on track. We just wanted to acknowledge some people that have been chiming in the chats.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. So basically, sorry about that. I kind of went on a tangent, but yeah. So basically, it's kind of like I'm always going. Like I said earlier, it's nonstop. That's the key word. So I'm either welding and fabricating at night, or if a customer reschedules, then I'll go ahead and do it on that day. And then while pressure washing, the very last week, I just spend that whole time contacting customers for the next month, and I schedule them. So in that last week, if I don't get you scheduled for the next month, then you're going to have to wait till the next month or that last week to get scheduled for the next month. And that way I don't have to worry about scheduling anybody. All I have to do is worry about maybe rescheduling, and that's very few and far between. And then as for sales, if somebody calls, I just find an open availability that works best for the both of us. I go out, I sell the job, and I line them up for the next month. And they're really accommodating. The customers around here, the people around here are really nice, easy to get along with. So I don't have too many problems in terms of scheduling with that. And then for LCR, again, I'm having orders come in. I'm having to fill those. I'm having to deal with the freight company, the customer, the transaction. I'm having to actually build and fabricate and, run through our quality assurance program. And I'm having to do all the painting and everything for it. So it's a lot of details, just like you guys know very well, very detail oriented at Tucker. But yeah, so if I'm not doing that, again, it's family time, but it's always, I'm flipping through it. And when I'm anywhere, I always am on like live chat, or I have email bursts ready to go. Cause late at night when my kids are asleep, my wife's asleep, then I'll stay up super late. Sometimes my wife, she'll join me. And I'll go ahead and schedule a bunch of emails for the next morning, just introducing myself. So if people are new to Tucker or they haven't, been around for a long time, then they'll see, hey, my name's Cole. If you need me, give me a call. Just so people know, like, I'm here for you if you're not already working with another sales rep. And I'm going to be your tool to answer questions or problem solve something on the job. So I'm always going, it seems like. But that's the biggest key. I feel like what wins it all with this consistency is scheduling. So, and I've gotten wild pressure washing on a good schedule. LCR is the only one where it's just, I'm just throwing it in gaps kind of. And then family time, I always have it at night. There's always a window before my kids go to sleep. We watch something, we play something, we do something. Because you always got to have family time. You guys know it very well. Family is number one. That's what we do everything for. So we always have that every day, at least an hour and a half a day. So it's really refreshing, and it's good to get away from everything for that hour and a half.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And I think I could always be working on. There's always something to be working on within the business, but definitely you need to make sure that that's your priority. That's a lot of our whys is our families. That's why we get up and do the things that we do. Definitely have dinner with them, spend that time that they need. So you're very vocal about your family being your why. So with all of these major roles that you got going on, what's your non-negotiable rule for making sure that you are still present? Like, what's it's like I can't do that, or I'll just let you talk. How about that?
Oh, no, it's all good. I guess for me, my absolute is I absolutely have to have an hour and a half worth of time with my wife and kids every single day, at least. It's not like there's my kids sleeping and like I kiss them on their forehead and they don't actually know I'm there kind of deal. It's just like well, it was nice to see them, now I'm going to bed. It's like a 1 hour and 30 minutes of adequate time where we're coloring or we're learning or we're playing or something with sensory, or we're doing movie night or something, but where it's active attention and acknowledgement. Phones are down and we're just doing something as a family, like a one solid cohesive unit. So that's my non-negotiable is I got to have that time. It's my mental reset. And it's also, I'm doing it all for them. So I want them to be able to see me, because it wouldn't be a good feeling to do all this work and I don't get to enjoy them while they're young or growing up and I'm missing these milestones. So I always make time to celebrate the little moments. But that's my non-negotiable, without a doubt. I'm willing to reschedule stuff. I'm willing to do whatever it takes, but I always have that little block every single day.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, that's one of the great things that I appreciate about working for Tucker and RHG, for Sean, has always been about make sure you're taking care of your family, and putting them first. Because why do all this and put them to the side? Because then you're not, the main reason why a lot of people get into their own business is to do that, right? And then they become the slave to that. So it's good to see that you're making the right priorities, for sure. Now we want to get into the field aspect about this. So tell how is it working out in in Georgia in the summertime?
The humidity is so thick you can cut it with a butter knife. It's
Okay.
it can get sticky and hot. Again, humidity is a big one. I know I hear a lot of people in Florida. They have it pretty bad in Florida with heat and everything. So, I can't complain too much. And then Arizona, it's firecracker hot, but it's dry. So, I
Yeah.
mean, every place has its advantage and disadvantage, but I feel like for me, all the bugs, we have so much vegetation here, so it can be very stagnant air, very thick air, because there's not a lot of good breeze blowing through to kind of blow it out. So that's the biggest thing. And I mean, just trying to stay hydrated and get little things off of Amazon or whatnot. Like we have little neck fans, we have hip fans, and it blows air through the bottom of your shirt. We have little ice packs that go around your neck. We have masks that go over us so we don't get all sunburnt, long sleeve shirts that are UV protectant, things like that. And, for us, it's just about staying hydrated because you're sweating so much, you're covered in water, and sometimes you just don't realize it that you're getting cooked by the sun or that heat's really getting to you. So just taking those breaks and drinking, plenty of water is my advice for anyone in the Southeast or really anywhere in America that's hot.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I used to work in RV manufacturing, and there be summertime. Obviously, it's our highest peak season, just like in the cleaning business. Summertime's everybody's peak, right? Cleaning. You're out working in the heat, and a lot of times we would be outside, so we'd be in a factory setting, and the air's just stagnant. But you're just got to get stuff done, got to get stuff done. And some of those people that didn't drink the water or didn't take a little bit of a break, find them passed out in an RV unit, like, hey, what's going on? And then they didn't take a break, didn't drink their water. They're better get them over to the doctor. So definitely take care of yourselves out there, like Cole says. Um, Out being in the field using equipment every day. What is maybe like the number one question you're getting from guys on the phone lately? Um, Start with that.
How long do the filters last? And my rebuttal, the one thing I always tell everybody is going to be, it really lasts. It varies on person to person. I like to tell people RO membranes generally last 1 to 5 years. Um, and then when you're looking at like DI filters, because those are the two that people are asking the most about, RO membranes and DI media or DI filters. And with the DI, I mean, again, it depends on how much are you using it. Because on the rivals, you have the DI saver mode, so you might not be using the DI on every single job. Some places have lower TDS, some places have higher TDS. So again, it's having to work harder to bring it down to a purified state. So again, it depends on your location. It depends on how you're storing it. It depends on how you're getting it prepared for each job and you're cleaning it up after each job. And then how often are you using it? Like, are you using it once a day, once a week? I mean, it depends because the more you use it, the faster you're going to go through those filters. You're running more water through it. And one thing I like to tell people is if you're not actively using it, like a customer's talking to you or you're taking a little break, make sure to turn off the water so you don't have water running through because that's just money flowing out your system. So that's the biggest tip I tell anybody and everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely, it's very situational, and I know that I would often get somebody that first gets into water fed. They're not very experienced with it, so they'll only use it on maintenance cleans, and then throughout that year, then go in the next season, they're very experienced with it, and they increase their usage, and then they're like, my filter isn't lasting the same amount as it did last year. And then we ask about usage, and like, oh yeah, I have been going from maybe 4 hours a week to 4 hours a day. So that definitely makes a huge difference. Let's check out. Oh, we got to acknowledge boss man. Hey, boss man.
Hey, Sean, how are you
Good to see
doing?
you here.
Yeah. Thanks for being here.
Right on. Another one we talked about, number one question you get, but also, is there any kind of myth busting that you have to do when you're talking with people about water fed?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. The one thing I like to just tell people very just straight up, is uh, the water fed systems, it doesn't matter what brand it is. It's not a miracle product. This is going to help maintain a window and keep it at wherever it's at. So if it has paint on it, it'll clean it, but it won't remove the paint. It won't remove mineral staining. It won't remove scratches or chips or anything like that. So when you're looking at a specialty service, water fed is probably not the way to go. There's specialized solvents, chemicals, specialized tools for certain things, whether you have built up grout or caulk on the window, whether you have oil on a window, whether you have scratches that you need to buff out and repair, whether it be mineral staining or paint, it doesn't matter. That's not what this pole or this system is designed for. So I always like to tell people that is don't buy this and expect to get this. This is going to be for something that you're just removing grime, debris, mildew, just overall organic buildup, dust, stuff like that. And it's good for maintenance, cleanups. It does really good. But again, just don't expect it to wipe out paint and all that. Because I like to tell people that because my fear is somebody's going to buy it and have the full intention of like, oh, you buy this tool and throw everything else out the window. I can make this window look brand new and it's just like covered in paint. So that's one thing I just tell people straight up right from the get-go, especially if they're new to the industry. Thank you, Sean, by the way, for your comments. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's one of the big myths is about water fed. The minerals are sometimes maybe people get confused because we hear about the equipment takes out minerals, right? And so what we're talking about is the incoming minerals that's in the water, that total dissolved solids that brings it down to zero. We're not talking about the minerals that have been etched onto the glass, because I think that's been a misconception. Oh, I got this job that has hard water stains in it or mineral staining. This is going to take it out, right? Nope, not at all. Not at all. So yeah, that's definitely another number one myth that got to bust. So awesome. Let's take a look. I got these questions written down, so I'll make sure I don't forget. So okay. What's the field report advice for staying efficient and getting home on time?
My biggest thing is do it right the first time. So if you're washing a house or concrete or whatever you're doing, if you're going to do one side at a time, do it to full completion. Make sure it is the best work you can possibly do at that time, and then go to the next side. Don't try to rush through this side and then rush through that side, and then you end up rushing around the whole home, and then you turn around and then that first side wasn't good, and then the third side was a little inconsistent. Now you got to go back and stretch those hoses back out, move around, and now your customer, you're having to have that talk with them of like, oh, I'm sorry, let me go back and fix that for you, when it could have just been done right the first time. You might be on each side for an additional 10 to 15 minutes max, depending on what you're doing, whether it be soft washing, pressure washing, or window cleaning. But if you do it right the first time, there is no turning back. You just keep going forward, and then at the end of the day, you put up all your equipment and you're good to go. And also, another little honorable mention I'd like to tell people is, like I said earlier, stay hydrated. Your body's a tool, especially in this industry. The squeegee is great. The water-fed pole is great. Pressure washers are great. Soft wash systems are great, but they're nothing without the user. So stay hydrated. Have a little lunch break. Get some snacks in your system. And just make sure to just take your time and go around and get it done the first time. But take care of yourself, because just like Alex said when he was dealing with RVs, people try to work through that heat, and they ended up getting hurt, very sick, and they even couldn't complete the job, and now they're out for a long period of time. So just make sure you're taking care of yourself, and then do everything right the first time.
Yeah, I definitely would subscribe to that. Also, and doing it the first time, not cutting corners. Also, want to talk about safety. Please don't take shortcuts on safety. Some may not know, but many do. Our water-fed poles have fiberglass base sections. They're insulated. That's a nice to have feature. It's not to be relied on. So don't cut corners. And if you have jobs with power lines, still you want to make sure about your drop zones and be aware of those situations, because at the end of the day, we want you save yourself some time, but also want you to save time to get home safe. So absolutely, that's massive around here. We want you guys to be fast but safe. So Cole, if anyone has any questions that want to reach out to you, talk about business, or especially equipment that's right for their business, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
So if you want to call or text me, you can reach out to 720-822-3818, or you can email me at Cole, C-O-L-E, at rhgproducts.com. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. You can message me on there if you prefer. But I would love to connect with you, help you set up your system, and help find the system that's best for you and your business. Those are the best ways to find me.
Awesome. Any final words before we sign off?
Actually, I mean, I think I'm pretty good. Hey, if you're gonna get into the water fed into the water fed world, choose Tucker. It's quality products. We have a lot of sales reps, a lot of great people. There's me, Ryan, and Jamie. We all are very like-minded individuals. We're all in the field. We have those experiences. Feel free to contact one of us. We'll be more than glad to help assist you with your purchases, help you walk through the setups of your system. And then you can also call in to Castle Rock, Colorado. That's where, Tucker HQ is. You can talk to one of the two amazing customer support representatives. They're amazing and very friendly, and they'll answer any questions to get you in the right direction so you get the right system at the right time for the right opportunity.
Awesome. Well, so grateful to have you back on, and also to have you on the team. Check out Cole. Like he says, he's all over social media. And if you're a hunter, check out his hunting stand. He'll treat you right.
LCR hunting equipment.
That's right. So thank you all for joining us, and we'll have you look forward to being on here again next time and joining us then. Take care, everybody.
Bye.